Okay. Supply spec is reasonable. Parser spec is playable. You don't mind the Mustangs, but having them early is not amazing. Rhino spec is also decent, but probably lean towards this. Aerial spec, the Sabres is just too garbage. Um, Fire Badger. Yeah, he's got the best possible pack here. If he were me, he would be going round one Fire Badger and starting to go for Phantom Race round two. Um, let's see. So we gotta go crawlers here. Happy with this. You could argue that it's better to have it like this, so it doesn't necessarily splash as easily. Plus, we get a 4 square unit for a giant here, so I think I'll take this instead. Another interesting L placement. I love how they're so far ahead. I mean, obviously, this is an amazing placement. The arc light dies instantly. Guess it's unusual to see storms on aggro like this. Thankfully, we will be getting the tower, but we're kind of far away from the storms. The storms are probably going to end up dominating unless we can get these crawlers in there. So the crawlers do end up winning us the day here, but they're the only thing left. Let's see. Phoenix is probably okay. Marksman, I don't want to go marksman. Just go for the Phoenix. Probably just start with Phoenix, then Phantom Rays right away. Might even want to level this level. Might even want to level this guy up here. We have 50. Probably put this guy like here. Sells out of the storm. It's good to see that he's selling out of on round two. That's costing him deployments. We try not to sell out if possible. Phoenix, and he's also got a Phoenix here. Okay, that's gonna be a little unfortunate for him. Now you know for sure he doesn't know that we're the Raymaster, because he would never have done that. We have a little bit of a chaff clear problem. It's because this one Stormcrawler insta kills our Arclight. But this round is obviously has gone a lot better, and he's got to now reposition his Phoenix here. So he's got a couple problems now to deal with. He probably wants to sell this. I'm not sure if he does, but usually he would. Okay, he gets this. This is amazing for him. Orbital bombardment. I think we have to take it, even though it's not necessarily the greatest spell ever. I think it's. I mean, at this time. So he's gonna warp these guys out somehow. We probably want to put like some chaff here. He might put chaff here. So we're kind of in a little bit of a sticky situation. So we don't really ever want to go chaff, but I think we kind of have to. Let's see. Just 2 more Phantom Rays, or do we also put some chaff here to kind of take care of this? And what if we just put the chaff here? Is that better? Maybe not. Let's go for another Phantom Ray. And I think we go for one more, because otherwise we kind of don't know what to do with our money. We do have a problem, though, with this guy. killing the arc light immediately. It's still a huge problem. Maybe this was stupid. Maybe we should have put this here. Maybe our arc light can survive. No, it still can't. This is going to cause us a lot of problems. Does he have... Okay, so he doesn't even run. He's like the dark side. He only runs the fire. I think we're still good here because we just have so much, but losing the arc light is horrible. We have to put a chaff here, or at least like a chaff here, I think. That could have been even smarter. Where is his fire badgers? Did he sell out of his fire badger? Oh my goodness, that's not good. Lightning storm could probably end the game soon. It's a little risky though. He might go for it. So I think in general it's good, but he might warp his stuff around. That's the problem. So maybe we skip actually. We'll let him catch up if that's what he wants to do. So we go fire, but we can't go fire. Just go for something here, maybe. We want there to be something in front of... So maybe he can missile. Maybe he can, like, you know... Just need something here. Maybe it's as easy as just putting it here. Let's see. I think just more phantom rays. Probably click shield though. Spread these guys out a little bit so we don't get owned too badly. Maybe missile, but maybe not. Just go for the defense. All right. What did we expect it to see? You might be able to stabilize with the lightning spell, but that's fine. We'll just go fire next turn or something. We wanted to see... He's got... Okay, no technologies yet. But we did get shield, meaning our oil is going to cost 300, so it's going to be quite a commitment. We might want to wait and see if we can get something in the drop that does fire for cheap. We're going to lose this round, but... Not too worried. You can go armor on the hounds, which kind of helps him with the fire. Okay, so we don't get any fire. Somewhat useless. I guess you could go tarantula, but he's just gonna get killed. Steel ball, scorpion. Just start selling out of the scorpion, I think. Or do we keep it? Maybe we sell out and just go straight into the Fort AA. I do feel pretty confident about this Fort AA here. This is going to be like 2 on this side. Maybe with this thing behind. And let's see what else here. Can't do much else. Could upgrade this, but 5,000. Is it better just missile something? We just missile this? Or this? Maybe missile this guy here. It did so much damage. Alright. Down comes the shields. That's interesting. Spreads his his guys around a little bit. Now we've shown our hand. We've shown what we want to do. It's pretty effective. This side though is kind of going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little concerning. Also, the scorpion is kind of close to the fort, meaning it might take splash damage. Just not great. Not the greatest tower timing. Still has 3 phoenixes left, but we still have quite a few units. It's not going to be enough though. But we're just kind of building up our fortress board here. It does give him time to prepare the counter, though. Skip, sell out of this guy. People go rocket punch or something. We need some kind of fire, you would imagine, at this point, right? There's nothing that can do fire. That's the problem. Unlock a Vulcan. It's way too much. Unlock a single Stormcrawler. Click fire. It's kind of a little expensive. I'd rather just like deal with the chaff here. Let's go rocket punch. I think we start borrowing here. Just for more forts. I think we got a good, nice spread here. Probably need to missile something here. This hound is just doing way too much. War Factory time. Amazingly played. It's gonna be too much for us to deal with here. Plus we have no chaff in front. That's our fault. He's got range. So it's gonna be bad for us here. Might be the killing blow. Sometimes you really have to put some chaff in front here. That's completely our fault. Oof. Yeah, the game was getting away from him, but he managed to come back really well here. I think we might still survive here. Now we got to put a melter here for this guy. It's a little bit, just too much stuff here. Thankfully, we get this. We can go here. It's gonna be a shield. We're gonna need a shield here ourselves for the missile, right? Or is this you're gonna kill the missile right away? Gotta go for this. He might sell reposition, so probably have to go for 2. Can't afford to though. Just sell this. And I think we just need a crawler here, maybe. Might be better to have it here. Let's just see. Yeah, we are pretty close, but this guy is, yeah, he does swap. So we do predict it successfully. We made the right play here. Just that we don't have money for the missile. We don't have money for like stuff. Might lose this tower. There's too much shaft. There's no fire. What the hell? I didn't know he could, I didn't know that's pretty effective. Yeah. I'll just say GG. We still have a chance. I mean, these guys are still kind of exposed. I mean, we still, not exposed, but we still have units here, but it's just too much shaft in front. Yeah, that was too hard to predict. Time for the rematch. All right, so we just played him. He knows what we do. We're just hoping to get a better pack here. Probably have to go for this. It's not amazing, but it's just the best option I think there is currently. And Fire Badger again. He gets the most amazing packs. But we still have the free Vulcan. Guess we go Arc Lights. We have to go for the arc lights because it's going to take a while for the Vulcans to come online. I don't know about this. I think the best way to position it is like this. Maybe even like this. There needs to be something in front of the tower, I think. Goes for the same setup. It's probably going to snipe the arc light again. It's absolutely just such a good setup for the Stormcrawlers. Kind of a repeat of the first round, but he's not going to make the mistake with the Phoenixes, I think. Probably need to put our arc lights more in the middle. We get the Phantom Ray, but I think we could go for the Typhoon instead. Or even the Farseer. That being said, let's just go pure Phantom Ray. You have to go with what we know. And of course it's the Phantom Ray. He's going to go Phoenixes, as expected. Still didn't put the Extinguisher in his tax, so probably doesn't need it. Sells out the Storm yet again. Storm is doing so much for him. It's killing one of our only 2 chaff clears on the first volley. And the way it's set up is just like it walks forward into it. There's so much chaff that it's so hard to clear. But we do actually finally win this this side here. Probably want to put a piece of like a chaff here on the side. Just to distract, maybe. Or even sell out of this. Okay. Yeah, so at this point we're kind of need something that can do fire. We're not gonna get it next round. So do we force it with something? Do we just go crawlers here? I mean, storms? We have to, I think. Just so we can set up the fire. Let's try this. Problem last game was we didn't have the fire and we never got to set it up. Everything here is kind of vulnerable to the fire. Hopefully we don't lose Stormcrawlers into this. He might aim at our own storms too. Yeah, it does kind of kill a few storms, but we also get him. So perhaps the Stormcrawler is okay. The main reason we get the storms is for the fire, but it looks like this storm's doing a lot here. So perhaps storms are good on its own. Let's see, what do we do now? Orbital jab, intensive training, just skip. Probably upgrade this. I think we go for fire right away. Do we sell out of something? You guys are good, chap. I don't think we sell. I mean, this did damage, 6,000 damage. That's still half of the, still a lot of damage. You just go for another Phantom Ray or like a chaff or something. Maybe like a chaff in front here. Does that even do anything? Maybe like a distraction? But we want stuff to go into the fire. I think 2 of these guys are enough. Probably just need maybe extra fire on this side. And 100 left over. I don't know. It's gonna be a crawler somehow. Maybe like here. Or is a crawler here? Maybe. This missile thing is kind of interesting. It's going to be problematic, but if we can get stuff through, then we can kill this. This is also problematic. This is a very, very good distraction here. We might be able to just go straight into it. Looks like we're gonna get on top of this. So that's 200 of value right there. So he's not looking good right now. That's 200 resources. Maybe we go shield next, and just more Phantom Rays. Laser sight could be good on like on the storms because there could be missiles here. Haste module is probably better on something like this or this. Not sure here. Kind of don't want to skip out on the haste module. Laser sight could also be good here actually. Let's just go for this. Just in case we need to set fires better. Just kind of want to get one out of safety in the middle. More Phantom Rays. Do we start selling out of these, maybe? Maybe. And do we borrow? I think we have to here. Borrow for the shield. Alright. Upgrade this or no? 3,000 damage doesn't seem like it's worth upgrading. Wouldn't mind a missile though. A missile here would be pretty good if he doesn't put the anti-missile down. Sure, he lights on fire, but yeah, the problem is good thing we still have this guy here. This is a bit problematic. But thankfully we have the shield. And it costs him 150 for the oil. We still have oil that we didn't use. He needs to put the sprinkler back on the hounds, I think, if he wants to play against this. There's no point in going for all those other technologies, whereas the sprinkler is like the best technology there is. The wasp, I think we go for that. Could also put it in the middle, but you'd expect him to have his own defensive wasp there. Not much we can do. We're gonna ignite this either way. Just gonna be more Phantom Rays. Maybe just put it on top here, or just put one here on the side, so kind of goes to it a little bit quicker, maybe. What else do we do here? 100 left over. Go for the defense. A lot of missiles in the back. So it's a lot of wasted resources here. But he does go for the correct solution here. The Wasp is absolutely what he needs. But I guess we have to just go for... Yeah, and that's the good technology. I think we just go for the Fort AA now. Assuming we don't kill our opponent this round. He doesn't borrow. He elite recruits. And he even has the this thing. So this is quite strong now. I'm really worried. Is that a missile as well? Okay. Yeah, A spec is just the best technology against the Phantom Rays. He played it correctly. Played it really well. He probably has enough, actually. Give him a lot of credit. He played it perfectly. This is exactly the best potential play he could do. But I think we just go for factory now, or... I mean, it's got to be factory, right? Just to close out this game, because... I mean, what else can we do here? We could go forts, but then he just goes factory. So, I think we just go factory. Melting point is interesting. Kind of counters the factory, though. Raidens, he might go for Raiden. So, we get 600. It's the same money. We're giant spec, right? So, it doesn't even matter. I think we just go mass forts, or do you just go straight for the factory now? That's a very tough question here. Imagine if he went for like the melter. That would be crazy. Doesn't have any EMP. So we could just get away with armor enhancement only. Put this guy here, throw like 1,000,000 missiles down. And even like missiles here. Missiles here. Even like a missile here, missiles everywhere. We'll borrow, get range. Perhaps even beacon. Let's just missile this as well. Let's get the oil even, just to be sure. Okay. I think this is going to be too much for him. I have no idea what you do. All right, making an asymmetric fight where you know what we do. It's miserable playing against you. Well, and I mean, I don't think it's because we know what you do, because, you know, I play like a fool. Like, I lose the arc light there. It's just that you know, I've kind of just made this, I've kind of just optimized this build. I'm not like reading into what he's going to do, because, you know, the first game he had no idea who we were. He beat us fair and square and 10 out of 10. Like the way he played it was beyond amazing. Now he knows what we do. The instant rematch, and lucky me, he loses. But you can't blame that on me, like, because now he has a better understanding of what our who we are now because we changed our name. But he figured out who we were. So in this regard, he has an unfair advantage over us. Now, he did place his units in the same way, asymmetrically, but we played everything perfectly symmetrically. This is kind of like how we play every single game. He plays asym, we play symmetrical. So you can't blame us you can't say that we're exploiting how he's placing his units asymmetrically, because we never did anything asymmetrical here. Obviously, he should have anticipated this. Like, that's just his fault. He should have at least clicked this. The rat we played against, Rooster, they were already preemptively building either the melting point or the Raiden at this point, because it's kind of like the only thing we can do to win. I guess we could try something else to win this, but what else do we do that can win against this? Fort AA is the only option, but then Melters do well into Fort AA. Raidens with Ionize probably also does well into Fort AA. So I don't know about the excuse making at the end, but I feel like that wasn't warranted. Like I said, on the first game, he played it so well. Like, I mean, I thought we were okay, we're just gonna go mass forts, and then instantly he goes for the factory, and then we're like, okay, now we need to build melters, but we're smart enough that we put melters, on both sides. But it just, the chaff clear, we didn't have money to do everything and get the chaff clear sorted. I think our biggest problem there was we didn't have the fire set up. We just kept waiting to get, we're too greedy. That first game, we wanted to wait for the fire, but we never got fire. We never got fire on the board, and then we just kept skipping out on the fire. And that's we just kept, there was more and more threats to deal with, so we had to go Fort AA, and then we just never got around to the fire, and then he goes factory, then he switches the factory position. I mean, the only thing we could have done is we just anticipated, just put only the melter here to anticipate the factory, but that's I'm not at that level to do that, and we would still need to get fire online, which is tons and tons of money. So yeah, we were always one step behind. He made a great comeback on that first game, and maybe it was us. We should have picked the spell, like the lightning storm. Maybe we just kind of got a little bit too confident. But now going to the second game, we didn't really change anything. The only thing that we did differently this game was we had to buy the storms, because we were like, okay, we cannot wait for another 3 rounds or 4 rounds, whatever, to get the drop and see if we get a fire in there. So we dropped the storms, and what was amazing was the storms did so much damage on their own. They were killing off the hounds, so the storms made so much sense. Then obviously the next round we we click the oil, and then we have our build. The opponent responded correctly with the wasp, very correctly. It was just that at this next stage he needed to anticipate the war factory, and maybe he does that next game, but I don't see, the war factory is such a crazy good unit, and it's so swingy, and it's potentially overpowered, potentially even toxic, but I feel embarrassed sometimes that I have to go for the war factory. We probably could have went something else and won. We will test that, but with that being said, in the first game he went for the war factory shenanigan. So I mean, everyone's allowed to go war factory, but you're not allowed to hate on someone that goes war factory when you use the exact same move to very skillfully win the first game. Anyways, that was interesting that that we had that little chat discussion here. I never made it an asymmetrical fight, and I don't know what that even means. Like, do players play more on the same side? Nobody knows what we do. Yeah, you know exactly what we did after the first game. The only thing we didn't do was add the fire, but that was a huge mistake from us. Yeah, well, anyways, it's good. It's good to it's good to hear from some of the top players, because this guy's 2200. You know, I guess that means he's in top 100. We're close to 2200 as well, so it's good to hear what the pros are thinking. But this is very good. If it's not miserable to play against a player, then the player's not that good. Like, it's absolutely miserable to play against the Rat, because with his hyper aggressive style, and maybe even players like Riddle, I don't really know how other players' styles are, but for sure the Rat is just this crazy aggressive style. It's absolutely miserable to play against the Rat. And I do welcome the challenge, and I want to learn on how we can, start winning against players like the Rat consistently. But it is absolutely miserable to play against the Rat, and that's good for the Rat. That's like the highest praise I can sing for the Rat there, because we're just getting pulled left, right, and center when we play the Rat. All right, guys, let's get into the analysis part. All right, so we'll look at two things here. Maybe look at it from the opponent's perspective first. Now, I think we have to prepare for either the Fort AA or the War Factory, because I think that's what we would do. Definitely. And the Raiden is quite good here. We can go Ionize on the Raiden. The rank 3 melting point is it's kind of expensive. It's a little bit of an overcommitment, but we do have Ionization. So why don't we just use Ionization Raidens? Now maybe just put it like, I don't know how far we want to put it forward, but maybe like this, maybe even more forward. We'll just put it at the tower level. We'll obviously borrow, we'll get range, we'll upgrade everything. Probably don't need range on the wasps, but let's see what else we need. I think 2 is fine here. So what else do we need if it's going to be like forts or stuff like that? Do we need just phoenixes? Maybe we just need more phoenixes, I think. Phoenixes with maybe like a charge shot or something, or like an EMP. At least the range, right? First. And let's just get another Phoenix, maybe. Do we sell out of something? Might want to sell out of this, just so we can get the item. I think we just get missiles for here, and I don't know about speed. I think it's missiles. Okay. So ionization obviously comes down. This looks like it does a lot of work here. I wonder if he could still win. Because, there's quite a lot of money to invest into the ionization. But do you think it's probably better than the melter? I think he does. I think he doesn't win. Gretorp doesn't win, but wait, he might here actually. But it's just it's not a huge loss. All right. Is it actually the Phoenixes here? I think the Phoenixes might have been a mistake. Ionization. And I wondered if it's like elite marksman or range enhancement. Elite marksman makes a lot of sense now that there's high level guys. Still want to sell out of this, put it here. I think we keep elite recruiting. Doesn't look like we'll be able to get another technology though, but maybe the elite recruiting is very important in itself. A missile here, missile here. Yeah, just because we win, it doesn't mean we actually win because, like, if the opponent makes a play that can beat both the War Factory and, like, if he could beat us, if we go into either War Factory or he decides, like, let's say we go into Fort AA and he still beats it, or let's say we go into, I don't know, Mustangs and he could still win. If he could win in almost all scenarios, that is the winning move. Right? Because, okay, so this in general is just better, I think, than the previous way. Even if we didn't go War Factory, I think this is still like a good, pretty good play because it covers the off chance. Even if there's a War Factory here, like this still ionizes it. So yeah, and it looks like you don't even need the range because there's nothing here that has any range at all. So there's no Mustangs, there's no Wasp of our own. Now let's go back to this and check it out from our side. So from us, what do we need here? We need to defeat this, I think, using Fort AA. Mustangs would also be interesting, but there is quite a lot of fire. Maybe we go Mustangs first. I don't know. So we'll sell out of this. Maybe we try the Mustang line first. All right. We'll still do all the missiles. Let's not go too close to the fire. Let's keep these guys more centralized. Okay, so the hounds get the armor now. That's the play, I guess, to avoid the fire. But then the missiles, he didn't anticipate the missiles, so that kind of was a waste of what, like 600? I think that was the big mistake. Maybe not a mistake because we did go into the Mustangs. Wow, so this did amazing. I'm surprised about this. I think it's the missiles, obviously, but so we do almost, yeah. I mean, we do amazing here. Let's see if Fort A does anything. All right, we get the do that. We do this. Do this. Obviously, the missiles are super important. All right, borrow range, and what else? Do missile our flanks as well. Go for the oil, of course. And I don't think we need to upgrade this, but we should probably missile these. And get this. So let's see if we do 600, 1600 here or not. The best setup usually is going to be Mustangs behind the forts. I'd be interested if this actually wins here. I'm not expecting this to win. It actually wins really hard, so. All right, it looks like we probably made a mistake by going into the. This one's even more. Wow. Might have made a mistake going into the war factory here because he could have countered us with the ionization. I think we are a lot better, like, or melter. I think we're a lot better off, not like, probably just better off going Mustangs and then maybe the fortress, like the turn after. The only thing we're worried about is the oil, but his oil is off cooldown. He used up all his spells. Some shields would have been good, obviously. I think that was potentially a mistake. Yeah, but I think generally speaking, you don't want to go War Factory unless you have to. Because if you lose the War Factory round, then it could turn from a winning game into a losing game in a heartbeat, and then it's just a guessing game if they're gonna go melters or not, and stuff like that. But generally speaking, it's not good. All right, so this is very interesting. I didn't know that this was gonna win. I was worried that, I was worried that he was gonna go for a melter himself. Like that's what I was thinking because he went melter already. If he goes melter and we do this, we lose super hard, and it's exactly the same thing that happened in the last game. So that's why I kind of was scared to go for the fortress. Mustang, it would have been similar. Like we lose with Mustang if he goes fortress. I mean, is the correct play for us to anticipate the war factory and go like ionize ourselves? I think that's a little bit too much. That might be too much of a commitment. Like if we did that and we can still win, then maybe, but I don't think we win here. Like there's nothing that can deal with all the wasps. It'd be interesting to try. So let's say we go for this, we click this, just have it chilling, and we'll go for some Mustangs, I guess. It's not going to be super high level. And we might even want to sell out of a Phantom Ray, maybe like a central one. Click this. Don't have that many missiles. We need the range here. So that's going to hurt us a lot. Not sure how about this. Let's see if this actually does anything. Okay, let's avoid the fire. Yeah, if this really happened, he'd be like, why the hell are you going ionization by rating? But still wins, wow. So I think the 400, 500 IQ play is actually just to go for this. So just in case he goes for the War Factory, like we can still win. But it's kind of like a guessing game, but in any sense of the matter, we're so far ahead here. Because I think he used up the intensive training, the oil. He was like, I think he was selling a lot more. He was maybe potentially borrowing earlier. Anyways, that was fun. Thank you for watching.